Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today I am going to be doing another palette throwback video. Can you guess which palette it is based on my current eye look? You probably already can tell based on the title, but the palette we're throwing it back to today is the Subculture palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in my makeup basket for the month of March, and I wanted to do two looks with this palette, not just one, but two. So the first one is the one I'm wearing on my eyes right now, and the second look is actually going to be a recreation of the eyeshadow look that I was wearing in my ranking all my eyeshadow palettes video. I did get a request to do a tutorial on that look, and I figured since I was planning on doing a palette throwback with this palette anyway, I thought I would incorporate that look as well, so you'll see that look second. But let's go ahead and get into look number one, which is this kind of bright peachy, springy eye look. Alright, so I have been getting in the habit of doing my eye makeup before I do my face makeup, and so I especially like to do that when I use this palette because a lot of the shades are kind of dark. There tends to be some fallout with this palette, so I just have better luck when I do it that way. So for this look, I'm going to start by priming my eyelids with the Jordana 12 Hour Made to Last eyeshadow pencil in the shade Continuous Almond. Now that my eyelids are primed, I'm just going to start by putting Dawn all through the crease and above the crease, just to kind of start out the look. That's a shade that I use almost every time that I use this palette. So then I'm going to take a slightly denser crease brush and start applying the shade Roxy to my crease. This is going to be a little bit less diffused than the shade Dawn that I just applied. This shade is so pretty, and it's definitely one of my favorite shades in the palette. Now that my crease is pretty much done, I'm gonna start building the shade Axis, this very, very deep, dark, matte teal shade in the outer corner. I'm gonna build it very slowly because this shade is very pigmented. I'm just gonna start by kind of packing it on. This shade, while I love the color, it can be a little difficult to blend. So you kind of have to just start very gradually, and then we'll worry about blending later. I am taking this into like the outer third of my crease as well, but I don't want it to blend too much with that peachy color because I feel like they need to remain a little bit separate since those are kind of complementary colors. Alright, I'm gonna take a slightly fluffier crease brush and just start kind of blending that a little. And I am almost kind of winging this out a little bit. And then going back to that fluffier crease brush and blending. And adding a little bit more as needed to the areas that do get kind of patchy as I blend. Trying to make sure both sides are somewhat symmetrical as well. So now for the really fun color, the shade Electric, which is like that duochrome greenish gold in here. Such a pretty color, can take some serious work to build up on the lids, but that is just gonna go on the inner half of the lid. But I mean, can you guys see why I love that color so much? Like, independent of the poor formulation of that shade, oh my gosh, it just looks so pretty and glittery and foiled once you do get it built up. And this is where I'm glad that I am doing my eye makeup before I do my face makeup, because I'm definitely getting some glitter fallout as I like blend or build this shade up. This is probably my favorite look that I've done using this palette, like, ever. I've done it several times, and I just keep going back to it because I love this color combination so much. I'm gonna go back into Roxy, the matte peach, and just lightly redefine that shade above the crease so that it doesn't get lost. So I am going to go ahead and do the rest of my face makeup off camera, and then we will come back To put the finishing touches on the eyes, I'll probably do a little bit of liner. I want to do that after I've already done my under eye concealer and stuff. And we'll also do lips together, so I will be right back. Okay, so pretty much the rest of my face makeup is done. I want to do some eyeliner now. This is the CoverGirl Cream Gel Eyeliner in the shade Fast Lane. This is an eyeliner that I really like to pair with the Subculture palette. It's like a deep, dark teal, and I think that it will go really nicely with this look. I'm gonna kind of tight line with this. And I'm also gonna line my lower waterline with this as well. So I was gonna actually kind of smoke out the lower lash line with that teal shadow, but I actually think I kind of just want to leave it like this because since it is kind of a bright, springy look, I don't want to get too heavy and dark. The next look I'm going to do after this is going to be much more dark and grungy and smoky, and so we'll save the smoky lower liner for that one. So I'm just going to finish off the eyes with some mascara. This is the Flower Beauty Lash Warrior mascara. I have been loving this mascara lately. I think it's my new favorite, honestly. And I think I'm actually gonna leave the lower lashes bare. I'm kind of liking this, like, just what we got going on here. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So for lips, I am going to kind of stick to that peachy vibe that we've got going on and line my lips with the Jordana Easyliner for Lips in the shade Rose Crush. And then I'll go over that with the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit liquid lipstick in the shade Nudist Peach. Alright, so that is it. I love this look. This is one of my favorite looks to do with the Subculture palette. I rarely repeat looks, but this is one of my go-to looks when I use this palette because it's just, I know it works. And sometimes with this palette, I feel just a little bit intimidated, and if I want to reach for it and go for a look that I know works really well but is still really pretty and fun, this is the look that I go for. I really like this. So that was look number one. All right, so back for look number two. Once again, I'm gonna do my face makeup, or my eye makeup before I do my face makeup. This look is going to be extremely smoky and dark and dramatic, so it's especially important that we do eye makeup first. Just priming my lids with the Jordana 12-Hour Made to Last eyeshadow pencil in the shade Continuous Almond, just in my project pan. If my eyes look extra puffy today, it's because I am doing this first thing in the morning right after waking up. So if I look a little bit more tired than usual, that's why. So like I did last time, I'm going to just kind of start off the look by buffing the shade Dawn into the crease. That is just like the transition shade that I pretty much always use just to get the look started. Now I'm gonna go into a slightly deeper crease shade, the shade Fudge right here, with a slightly more dense brush, and I'm gonna just sort of start to build that up in the crease a little bit more. I'm gonna go back with that fluffier brush and just kind of blend that out a little bit more. Not picking up any more shadow with this brush, just using it to blend. Then I'm gonna start building up this Untamed shade. It's like a forest green, also matte. So far everything we've used is matte. And I'm just gonna start building this up very slowly on my lid. This shade's very pigmented, but also can go on a little patchy. So I'm just being very gradual and very patient with it. The real focus with this look is going to be to try not to let things get too muddy, which isn't easy when we're using such dark shades that do resemble the color of mud. Trying not to go too high up with this. I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. crease brush, a slightly smaller, fluffy crease brush, with the shade Dawn, that light beige kind of blending shade, and just sort of get things a little bit blended. I'm not trying to blend this together too much with that green because I don't want the green to get too high up and start mixing with this shade. All right, now I'm gonna build the outer corner. So I'm gonna use the shade Axis, which is one of my favorite shades in this palette. I used it in the last look as well, but it's that deep dark teal. This is gonna be my outer corner shade. Packing this on with a very small detail crease brush. And I'm kind of winging this out a little bit. I've been really into that kind of look lately. Winging it out just slightly and then blending it in with the outer third of the crease. Or like pulling it in. Not really blending yet. Now I'm gonna use the shade Destiny. Now this is a shade that doesn't always look great on me, so I'm just gonna pick it up very lightly. It's that olive green shade right there. With that e.l.f. crease brush, the slightly fluffier one. Very lightly. I'm just gonna use this to blend up above those colors a little bit, just to make things look a little bit more blended. Now I'm going back into Dawn. I'm kind of going back and forth, back into that shade to go even a little bit above there. I don't want this area to look too muddy and like gray, and I feel like it already is kind of starting to. So we're also going to go into the shade Electric, which is like the fun part of this look, but I want to do the rest of my face makeup first because that's kind of go in the inner corner, so I want to do that after I've done under eye concealer. Okay, so the rest of my makeup is on. So now I'm gonna use the shade Electric. I'm gonna start by just putting a little bit of this on the inner third of my eyelid. I want this shade to kind of brighten up the whole look because right now everything is just so dark. I really like the way that looks over the top of that dark green shade. Then I'm gonna put more of that in the inner corner, just right around the tear duct, but I want it to be even more intense in the inner corner. So there's that. I am going to do a little bit of smudging on the lower lash line. First I'm gonna go in on the lower lash line with Dawn, just to get it started. And then I'm gonna lightly tap into Axis, very lightly, and just smoke it out a little. Kind of connecting it to the outer V. And then the last thing I did was I lined my upper lash line with a black liquid liner. And then I'm gonna finish it off with mascara. Just using my Flower Lash Warrior mascara. Finally, for lips. Last time I did this look, I was wearing the Physicians Formula Healthy Lip Liquid Lipstick in All Natural Nude. I think this time I want to go a little bit more nude, a little bit lighter. That was more of like a brownish nude because I had it on top of the Milani lip liner in Spice. I think I am still going to do a little bit of Spice from Milani, but I'm also, instead of the Physicians Formula lipstick, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Mega Last lipstick in Never Nude. This is actually my lipstick for this week for my 4 weeks 4 lipsticks. I think it'll go nicely with this look. I'm going to just sort of lightly line with the lip liner. And now for the lipstick. I think because my lips are so chapped, I'm actually going to top that with a little bit of a gloss. I'm just going to use a little bit of the Dose of Colors lip gloss in On Repeat. Mostly just on the center. Alright, so that is look number 2. Definitely not the kind of thing I would wear on a daily basis, but I do think it's really fun and very like outside my comfort zone. I love the way that electric shade really like transforms the look, you know? So yeah, really big fan of like all the teals and greens in this palette. I think they're a lot of fun. So those are my 2 looks for this palette throwback. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.